everyone, welcome to another academic video. In this one, I'm going to chat a little bit about departmental parties. Are they worth it? Should you go? Basically, how social do you need to be as a member of a university? If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Caroline. I am a UK-based physics lecturer, so I research and I teach, and I have an admin duty at a UK university. Parties. Now, some of us are going to be naturally more socially inclined than others. But in this video, I want to dig in a little bit to the purpose of academic departmental parties and why, as academic members of staff, or maybe postgraduate researchers or PhD researchers, why should we go to these events? And if we're being really kind of brutally honest about it, when you're new into a department, so maybe you've just taken your first lectureship, maybe you've just joined up for a new PhD, maybe this is your first teaching fellow appointment at that university. When you're new, departmental parties, get-togethers, gatherings are a way of building up your network. And ultimately, if you have a good network of contacts, it can help further your career. Which I know sounds quite harsh straight away. Parties equals career development. But there is a bit of a connection between going to parties, getting to know your colleagues, understanding how your department works, and relaxed conversation about research in the department, the teaching in the department. Little by little, you can find out a little bit more about how that department ticks. And if you know how your research area or your teaching area operates within your university, then yes, it can help you both in your current career and as you're looking to maybe develop yourself and move forward in your career. So number one then is departmental parties. Even if you aren't particularly sociable, it can be worthwhile going to at least one or two just to make some networking contacts. Another really good thing about going to these departmental events is that you can make friends. So if you're new somewhere, it can be really daunting if you don't know your colleagues, you don't maybe know the other students around if you're doing PhD research. It can be a big jump to put yourself into a new academic environment. And actually going to have some nibbles or going to have, a glass of fizzy pop and chatting about how the day went with your colleagues in a kind of seminar room, it can help break the ice and it can help you form friendships within that department. So yeah, I would say number two, it can help you find some new pals. It's also, depending on the type of gathering, and more of that in a minute, but depending on the type of event you've gone to, it can also be useful as staff and students if you get to mix a little bit. So we have some deliberate events in my physics department where staff and students both get invited to attend, football tournaments or quiz events or a Christmas party. And I think some students really like socialising with us as academic members of staff. I think other students can think of nothing worse than socialising with us. But in our degree programmes, in our bachelor's programme, at the end of it, the students select a final year project. And that involves the student working one-on-one with an academic member of staff. So actually, it's in the student's interest to get to know us a little bit. They can find out what we're like, what our research is about. And obviously it's useful for us to get to know the students a little bit more as well before these projects are assigned. So, every now and then it can be useful to go along to a staff-student party, regardless of whether you're the staff member or the actual student. So what types of events and parties are there within an academic setting? So I can only talk about my experiences. I've been a student at one university, I am a lecturer at another university. Kind of in my experience, you can have very small research focused events. So our PhD researchers with their supervisor, or maybe a few supervisors with their students, might decide to go and have a meal together or do an event together. You might get a department meeting up, so that could be an end of semester party. It could be an event throughout the year to maybe have a speaker come in and give a talk, and then some nibbles and kind of mixing time afterwards. And of course, it can be the entire faculty. So I am a lecturer within a department, but my department is part of a much bigger faculty within the university, and sometimes you get these wide faculty events as well. Some events will be for staff members only, some events will be for PhD researchers only or for postdocs only, some events might be for undergraduates only, and some events might be for any combination of those groups. So it's kind of worthwhile looking at what's coming up in your research group. Is your research group very social, or do they not really like to kind of get together outside of working hours? And then to look at what your department's doing, and then to have a look at your wider faculty. And that brings us to how many of these departmental or faculty or research events do you actually need to go to? As an academic member of staff, personally, I think it's really important for our research group to have fairly regular social activities where we can all hang out, and chill out and get to kind of know each other a little bit outside of the laboratories and the research labs. So I am part of a research group that's made up of 5 academics. So we have 3 professors, a senior lecturer and myself. And of course, within that group as well, we then have postdoctoral researchers. We have a number of PhD research students who kind of have us as their various supervisory team. We might have master's students with us. We might have somebody on a summer internship with us. And that group, our research group, we get together fairly regularly. We might have a picnic if the weather is good, maybe a barbecue, maybe we'll go out for a meal, and maybe we'll just do a fun quiz if it's kind of coming up to a festive holiday period, or get together to celebrate each other's events or things that are important in the calendars of our team members. And that's actually really lovely and can make for a really friendly research group. So yes, I think if you are an academic, and in my case I'm a researching academic, I think it's really important to attend some of those research level parties and get-togethers and events. I do think it's also important to support departmental activities. I won't necessarily go to every departmental party or talk or colloquia, but I will make sure that each semester I try to go to at least 1, maybe 2 events. In my department, we often have an end of semester event where we all get together and we celebrate all the good news that happened in that particular semester. So that's a really good one to go to. We also have a couple of lecture series that usually have really good speakers come in, and there's usually a small kind of party afterwards, so I'll go along to those. And then I guess at the faculty level, maybe once or twice a year I'll join in with a faculty level wide event. So yes, I probably am not the most social in the department, I'm probably not the least social in the department. I am, I guess, somewhere in the middle. But I would love to know, how social is your department, your university? Do you never have departmental parties or get together? Do you have them really frequently on like a rota? Let me know in the comments. It's so fascinating to see how we do things differently at different institutions, different universities and different countries. So yeah, let me know. Are you a fan of the departmental party, or is it really not your thing at all? As always, stay safe. Keep looking after yourselves. If you haven't already, please think about joining our little group here on YouTube. So hit subscribe, leave me a comment, and I'll see you next Monday for another academic video. Bye!